Hello, my name is Jana Pelouchová. I am a patient and a blood cancer advocate. I'm happy to present CML Atlas, which is a pilot project of gathering data from the Eastern European region. We have designed this project during meeting of organizations from Eastern Europe and West Asia during the CML Advocates Conference, CML Horizons in 2019. The aim was to create a database with all relevant data about CML. This data could be used for education, for fundraising, and for advocacy. We have managed during 1 year basically to proceed with the project and to finalize it in order to present the results at the CML Horizons of this year, which was earlier this month. We have started in December 2019 and we have gathered the data by end of March. The respondents came from 19 countries of Central and Eastern European region. The method of collecting the data was by questionnaire using cloud-based online SurveyMonkey. All the information was finalized by July 2020. What kind of information did we gather? First, there was the general information about the number of patients in the respective country, number of patient organizations, hospitals treating CML, number of specialist hematologists, and the existence of patient registries, both on the hospital and national level. But for advocacy purposes, what was most important was the mapping of the access to therapies, access to testing, and access to clinical trials. In more detail then, we have looked into the ways of the therapy availability, either through the healthcare system or by donations. We have gathered the prices of each different therapeutical options. We have looked into the frequency of testing and the prices of the PCR testing. And we have gathered data on ongoing and recruiting clinical trials. All the data was published on the website of CML Advocates Network and implemented into a brochure, CML Atlas East Europe. The respondents came from 19 countries, as shown in the map, and in vast majority, they were patient organizations. That means that advocates have provided the data. Some have found challenges because not all information is publicly available. And therefore, we appreciated the input of CML doctors, which also in a certain proportion have involved in this survey. The availability of different therapeutical options is shown here in the type of access. The dark blue color shows when this therapy is available upon health insurance. The dark yellow color shows when it is by donation. The light blue color represents access to a therapy in a clinical trial setting, and unfortunately, the light yellow shows when this option is not available. The percentages of patients put on a specific type of medicine is shown in this graph. The majority dark blue color represents the first-line generic therapy of imatinib. The dark yellow, light blue, and light yellow represent second-line therapies. Third-line therapy is the light blue color that you see in minority. Same applies to the availability of testing, which is just as important and goes hand in hand with the therapy. We have looked into the percentage of patients who can be tested at least once per year. In many countries, it is covering 100% of patients. However, we do see disparities. As you see in this graph, for instance, in Ukraine, it is only 50% of patients who get tested on a yearly basis, at least. That is somehow not correlating with the price of the testing. The most expensive has been shown in Lithuania. It's over 500 euros, while in Ukraine, it is 45 euros. But despite this fact, still the testing is suboptimal. Clinical trials are enrolling predominantly in the Central Europe. That means Hungary, Czech Republic, Poland, and also in Croatia and in Turkey. The countries listed on the left-hand side are clearly suboptimal. We have a good example of using the data from CML Atlas in the experience of Kosovo. Until this September, only one drug was available, the generic imatinib, and the local CML support organization used the data of CML Atlas when negotiating with local government authorities to broaden and make more therapies available for those who are resistant or intolerant to the first-line therapy. Alongside with these activities, the global CML advocates have used the work group Community Advisory Board to discuss with the Novartis team on introducing nilotinib to the Kosovo market. Thanks to all these initiatives, in September this year, nilotinib was made available for 15 patients on the cost of the healthcare system. To summarize the results, so this is a first pilot project in the area of CML collecting this particular type of data in its broad scope. The data can be used for advocacy both on local, on regional grounds to compare in between countries from the region and also in the global perspective, and can be implemented also in other rare diseases. Certainly, we don't feel that the data will be set in stone. On the contrary, we plan to look into the database and to update it at least once a year. The project has brought a side effect, which is perhaps a more intense communication in between the patient organizations in this region by means of WhatsApp communication, and also we have a closed Facebook group. So even this has been now there is a reason to share information. I would like to use this opportunity to acknowledge the work of Jelena Čugurović of the Serbian Patient Support Organization, who has been the lead of this amazing project. Thank you.